Buthesfunnytho farms up, looks to sacrifice Ho-Oh to the Pokegods, recognising Latias is going to get outpaced. Aircutter removes Ho-Oh from the field of play. Latias re-enters the arena, looks to overfarm and rip off the Aura Spear. Aura Spear goes unshielded, removing Corviknight from the field of play, and out comes Skeledirge. Skeledirge might think it's thick, but Latias, about to put his bulk to the test, does the opponent respect the damage? Welcome back to the channel. My most recent upload was one of my favourite uploads I have ever done. It was pretty much a compilation of Pokemon getting boomed right from the get-go. Buthesfunnytho, today's featured battler, has took inspiration from that upload, and he's essentially going to be doing the same thing, but this time in the Open Ultra League. Unlike most YouTube videos, or I should say most YouTube Pokemon Go PvP videos, this is not a very strong climbing team. This isn't "this Pokemon's busted," yada yada yada, or any of that boring nonsense. What it is though is going to be some epic entertainment. Today's featured battler, Buthesfunnytho, is giving us a compilation of numerous different team comps in the Open Ultra League, but one thing's for sure, there are going to be big booms guaranteed. A huge thank you for Buthesfunnytho for not only sending the battle footage, but also putting this video together, leaving me just a very easy job of shoutcasting. So with all that being said, without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, Porygon stares down Ampharos. Buthesfunnytho banks energy, makes the pivot into Toxicroak, hoping to catch a resisted Brutal Swing or Trail Blaze. We catch the Trail Blaze, the opponent stays in, Toxicroak farms up, fires off the Dynamic Punch on the CMP tie, winning CMP. Dynamic Punch only hits for neutral, Mud Bomb would be super effective. However, Dynamic Punch actually does do more, so that is the correct move to throw. We shield up the Brutal Swing, commit to the Poison Sting, farm down, leaving with residual energy good to go, and out comes Typhlosion. The same logic applies here. Dynamic Punch would actually do more and forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Quick switch into Porygon. We go straight for the Zap Cannon. Does the opponent respect the damage? Bang! There it is. There's the first big boom. Out comes the Steel Penguin. This should set up quite a simple endgame for Buthesfunnytho. We just got to fire off the Zap Cannon, either pick up the clean one-hit KO or force the final Protect Shield. Quick switch into Latias and Aura Spear this Penguin to the face. Buthesfunnytho has other ideas, fires off the Tri-Attack bait, thankfully forcing the final Protect Shield. Porygon still not done, fires off one further Tri-Attack. The opponent doesn't commit to the Metal Sound farm down, and I think this is just GG's. Tri-Attack does come with a 50-50 chance to debuff both the attack and defense. Not that I was paying enough attention to see if we got the debuff, but we actually make it super risky, go for the catch. The opponent doesn't commit to the farm down, and that is the final nail in this opponent's coffin as Latias races the Aura Spear, knocking out the Steel Penguin, and we take that game. In the next battle, we've got some crazy double electric strategy, leading with Annihilate. Annihilate picks up a fantastic lead against Guzzlord. Buthesfunnytho last second invests to Protect Shield, shielding up the crunch. Guzzlord might think this is a Rage Fist, so I agree with full send of the Ice Punch. As trainers, I love to no-shield this move. Ice Punch sneaks through the Protect Shield, removing Guzzlord from the field of play, and out comes Venusaur. Buthesfunnytho going to bank his energy and make the pivot into Magnezone. Magnezone hella glassy, we're going to fully wall the energy. Well, I say that, but that Frenzy Plant didn't look all that resisted. Magnezone farming up a boatload of energy, looking to bluff a potential Flash Cannon. Of course we haven't got it, but the opponent doesn't know that. You've always got to fake it till you make it. The bluff works, and we're able to force the first Protect Shield of the game. Frenzy Plant removes Venusaur from the field of play. The Angry Ape re-enters the arena, looks for the kill shot, firing off the Ice Punch. Ice Punch forces the opponent's final Protect Shield, and we're kind of obliged to match Protect Shields. Alolan Golem isn't going to fancy the work of Venusaur. Buthesfunnytho instantly puts up that Protect Shield, blocking up the Frenzy Plant. The opponent then pivots out into Greninja. Buthesfunnytho farms up and looks to make a Night Slash catch onto Alolan Golem. Very high risk, very high reward. I imagine Hydro Cannon would have been a clean one-hit KO as Alolan Golem is hella glassy. Buthesfunnytho looks to fire off the Rock Blast, but loses CMP. Hydro Cannon removes Golem from the field of play. Back out comes Annihilate. Annihilate able to counter farm down, leaving with the Ice Punch. And that is going to be all she wrote. A very scary endgame, ending in a glorious victory. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we've got Ursaring leading the line for us. We pick up a pretty decent lead. I'm going to say pretty decent as our Shadow Claws hit for super effective, but our charge moves are fully walled. Okay, Buthesfunnytho, I see you. As our energy is completely useless against Skeledirge, we opt to bank it, hoping it's more useful in the endgame. Make the Torchon catch onto Latias, baiting out Corviknight. By no means the best matchup, but not really the worst either, as its Aura Spears are incredibly spammy, only taking 10 turns and land for heavy neutral damage. The opponent farm up to a potential payback. The opponent fires off the Air Cutter bait, Latias holds strong, and the opponent's forced to dump yet further energy. Buthesfunnytho, they're going to invest the protection on the next Air Cutter, bank an Aura Spear, Make the pivot back into Ursaring. Once again, our charge move choice are fully walled here, but the opponent might invest a Protect Shield, fearful of a close combat. They do exactly that. The first Swift, force a Protect Shield, Ursaring fires off the next Swift. Swift is resisted, but Ursaring hits like a truck and able to get the opponent deep into the red health range. For those of you who don't know, Ursaring, essentially like a Primate, very, very attack weighted and cannot tank a hit to save its life. The opponent fires off the Air Cutter, get the perfect farm down, leaving with yet another Air Cutter. And it's now going to be Toxicroak versus the world. Toxicroak's first task is going to be trying to Poison Sting farm down a Steel type. We actually get the perfect farm down. Back out comes Skeledirge. Oof. There, I think we should have thrown 4 Poison Stings and prevented the opponent from making a catch. But the catch actually might benefit us, as this Belly Bolt in the back and Mud Bomb still lands for heavy super effective damage. Toxicroak heavily over farms, looks to rip off the next Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. We're doubled up, look to throw back to back and deny the energy. Mud Bomb will move and Belly Bolt from the field of play. Skeledirge does have energy. They're going to fire off the Torch Song, looking to boost up their attack. But as long as we don't die to one further Incinerate, which we certainly should not do, this is going to be a game over. Toxicroak able to reach yet another Mud Bomb, and Mud Bomb is going to be all she wrote. GG's that opponent. Heading into the next battle, we've got Staraptor making an appearance. What the hell is going on here? Speaking of which, we're going to counter swap in Staraptor into Cresselia, and I definitely don't think this is going to be a positive matchup. To be honest, the entire team going to be quite poor into Cresselia. The opponent fires off the Moonblast. We actually tanked that far better than I was expecting. Once again, this is such a glassy Pokemon. Buthesfunnytho, going to fire off the Fly. Fly able to land for monstrous damage. We're doubled up and look to throw back to back. This next Fly won't quite be lethal, but does force a Protect Shield off big bad bulky Cresselia. Imagine we just let this go, as we're going to get outpaced to back Grass Knots. Buthesfunnytho has our ideas, invested Protect Shield on the Grass Knot bait. There isn't really a bait, as we are definitely in Grass Knot range. The opponent is able to outpace to the next Grass Knot, and even resisted, it does remove Staraptor from the field of play. Back out comes Toxicroak. What the hell is going on here? I thought we were going to fire off the Mud Bomb on CMP, winning CMP. We actually catch a Grass Knot onto Latias. I'm not entirely sure why the heck you would Grass Knot a poison type. What is going on in this battle? The opponent goes straight for a Chilling Water. Oh my gosh, disarming voice. I'm glad Buthesfunnytho's playing and not me, as I definitely would have let that move go. We're going to full send the Mist Ball. Mist Ball! Oh, go shielded. Once again, it's going to be down to an unshielded Toxicroak to pull off a 1v3. In Toxicroak, we believe. Come on, Toxicroak. You've got this, buddy. Toxicroak going to fire off the Dynamic Punch. That does do more. Dynamic Punch. Hopefully puts him into Mud Bomb range. Question mark. We need this to be lethal. Mud Bomb. Okay. Come on, Toxicroak. You've got this. Back out comes Cresselia. Buthesfunnytho perfectly over farms. Firing off the Mud Bomb on the CMP time. Mud Bomb removes Cresselia from the field of play. Just Greninja remains. And have no doubt, Greninja going to be straight in and straight out. And the super spammy Frog able to sweep the entire team. What a dub that was. GG's to both trainers. Heading into the next battle, we've got an appearance from a Pokemon I like to call the Kentucky Fried Chicken Bird of Death Master League Edition, but of course these battles are played in the Ultra League. We farm up, banker energy, and look to make the catch onto Torterra, aka Torterra Ball. Oof, trainer, of all the Pokemon I'd counter swap into a Shadow Mudslap Torterra, Skeledirge isn't the answer you're looking for. Buthesfunnytho farms up, throws the Sand Tomb on CMP, forcing the first Protect Shield of the game. So if the opponent's ended a shield, what they should have done is commit one shield and fully incinerate farm down. We're not going to complain the opponent dumped their energy though. We send out Latias. Looks like we attempted to make a catch. Not really sure why we couldn't catch. We're using a one-turn move. I guess we got some stutter lag. We correctly shield up the Shadow Ball and then get a massive Dragon Breath farm down afterwards. Come on, trainer. Send out that Weezing. It's just an Aura Spear, I promise. We force in the Mist Ball. Does the opponent respect the damage? Quick switch back into Ho-Oh and an attempted snipe. The opponent says Weezing, catch the Brave Bird onto Swampert. And once again, that isn't really a Pokemon that's going to tank a Brave Bird well whatsoever. Brave Bird rocks them deep into the red. Let it go, but he's funny though. Yes, I love it. Weezing, you sir have run out of shields and you're about to get Mist Ball to the face. So they do have energy, so it's going to be a race to back-to-back moves. Can we outpace before the double Brutal Swings reach? We invest a Protect Shield, shielding at the Brutal Swing. Latias looks to reach the Mist Ball. We're able to outpace. Mist Ball is going to land on its intended target. High Weezing, by Weezing, remove yourself from my screen, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see some fire on fire crimes. Or the Battle of Incinerate use, I guess, if you will. Both opponents farming up a boatload of energy. Buthesfunnytho attempts to catch a charge move. That is very risky, as if his opponent full center Shadow Ball, he probably would have got one shot. The opponent banks 100 energy and send out Goodra. Buthesfunnytho goes for the kill shot. Miss ball. Again goes shield. All these opponents are ruining my farm. Although, hold up. We're going to reach an Aura Spear. They already have 1 Protect Shield. Reluctant 2 Shield in the mid-game matchup. They're going to need like a Draco or something. Thunder Punch, Aquatail, not going to cut it. Opponent fire off the Thunder Punch. We're able to Dragon Breath farm down. Switch advantage and shield advantage is ours. Out comes Gator. A purified version. Sacrilege! Kill it quickly. We send back out Ho-Oh. The opponent all down 1 Protect Shield. Are they willing to 2 Shield? Brave Bird. Bang! There it is. Get that stupid purified Pokemon off my screen. And with that, this game's wrapped up. I was going to say, just save both shields for Torterra. Not really sure why we're shielding Ho-Oh, but regardless, we're going to be able to 1 shield, go for the world's most skillful, tap, 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 fast move beatdown, and Skeleturge very quickly. Going to get vanquished back to his Pokeball. GG's to both trainers. Heading into the next battle. Oh my days. If you talk about Dream Leads, you couldn't ask for a better one. The opponent say switch into Florges, which is somewhat more of a problematic Pokemon for us. Looks like we're more than content to tank a Chill in Water, and it looks like Buthesfunnytho is going to just stay in and look to force a Protect Shield. Sacred Fire, even at -1, is going to knock him out. The opponent completely sacked Florges. Florges straight in and straight out. What the heck is that? Is that on Waterfall? Why? Why, Mr. Opponent? What the heck are you running Waterfall for? I think outside like the first day of the season where people just play any old nonsense, I've never seen a Waterfall Kingdra in my life. Waterfall Octazooka, what a moveset. We banker energy, make the pivot into Latias, bathing Ferrothorn back into the arena. But this also isn't a great matchup, to be honest. Ferrothorn is going to be completely terrible against pretty much everything on the team. Its best matchup is the Torterra. The first Aura Spear forced the opponent's first Protect Shield. The next Aura Spear forced them all shields down. Our only lose-con is trying to shield flex. Just respect the Flash Cannon. Iron Flash Cannon. This opponent goes to the Power Whip. Is it a bait? Do they have Flash Cannon? I'm not entirely sure. We farm up, make the catch. Back onto Torterra. Oof, it is Flash Cannon. The opponent had it the whole time. Back out comes Latias. Latias gonna fire off the Aura Spear, which will be landing on its intended target. Not quite a one-hit KO. The opponent saves their energy, make the pivot back into Kingdra. Latias, so far energy, rips off yet another Aura Spear, knocking out Kingdra. Buthesfunnytho, no funny business. Just invest the Protect Shield. Not entirely sure why I'm throwing. Potentially we're looking to go for the BM Miss Ball. The opponent actually full send the Flash Cannon, which whizzed their wing con. You love to see it, but this one it's still going to end with Buthesfunnytho emerging victorious. GG's to both trainers. Heading into the next battle. Well, that is a blast from the past. For those of you OG battlers, you'll remember a time, perhaps like season 13 or 14, where Poliwrath was not only meta, but pretty much the best Pokemon in the Ultra League. It was ranked inside the top 10, but the counter nerf very much affected Poliwrath. I think Annihilate is probably the only counter user nowadays that's viable, and that's mostly because of Rage Fist. Ho-Oh tanks the Icy Wind. To be honest, I'm not even entirely sure if that was a bait. Potentially they've probably got Icy Wind and Dynamic Punch for better pacing. Skull was also nerfed as well, hence Poliwrath is very rarely seen. We shoot at the Icy Wind and out comes Corviknight. Unfortunately, in this scenario at -1, this is going to be quite a poor matchup. Despite Aura Spear being a good move at -1, it's going to take multiple to remove Corviknight from the field of play. But he's finally looking to make the best of a dire situation, leashes the next Aura Spear on the CMP side, rocking them below the half health range. The opponent is going to need to full send a payback to move us from the field of play. Unfortunately, invest Protect Shield on an air cutter bait. Buthesfunnytho then farms up, makes the catch, back onto Ho-Oh, reset that debuff in the process. Back out comes Latias. Latias gonna overfarm and look to unleash the Aura Spear, finally removing Corviknight from the field of play. Down comes Corviknight. Does Poliwrath re-enter the arena, or do they reveal their third? Out comes Skeleturge, and this opponent has two choices: give up that final Protect Shield or get vanquished back to your Pokeball. Miss Ball. Bang! There it is. There's the big boom we've been waiting for. Back out comes Poliwrath. Poliwrath attempts to counter farm down. Latias says no, reaches the Aura Spear. Aura Spear forced the final Protect Shield, but this game's going to get very, very dicey. Icy Wind is double super effective. Torterra, it's non-stab. You remember that. Torterra, oh, just about hangs on and survives the counter. Just about able to reach the Sand Tomb, and in a very dicey endgame, Buthesfunnytho able to emerge victorious. GG's to both trainers. Heading into the next battle, we see Togekiss in the lead position. This should be a good matchup for us. Although this is probably the one and only Togekiss running Ancient Power. Oh, fast move timing opponent. You need to throw 2 or 7, or you could throw 4 I wish, but don't throw 5 and give us a full Incinerate sneak. We invest Protect Shield, block up the Side Shock, 1 Incinerate and the Brave Bird for optimal fast move timing, forcing our Protect Shield back. We then farm up, attempt to catch a Side Shock, but the opponent threw up poor timing this time. They hold their energy, and out comes yet another Skeledirge. Does this opponent respect the damage? Are we about to see back-to-back Skeledirge one shot? Yes, we are. Oh boy, poor old Skeledirge getting completely bullied today. Straight in and straight out. Trainer, what are you doing? No, 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 no. Why? Why would you not send out Togekiss where Dragon Breaths are double resisted? The opponent sends out Kiram. Kiram goes to the one shield, looks for the farm down. Latias says no, reaches yet another Aura Spear. Latias absolutely popping off. Rather than concede a farm down, Buthesfunnytho sends Ho-Oh back into the arena. We're now receiving the energy for the Brave Bird. We look to undertap, but unfortunately lose CMP. The CMPs are usually in Tokiss's favour, but you can win it with an attack-weighted Ho-Oh. Clearly we haven't got it, but in a weird turn of events, it looks like we're going to fully Mud Slap farm down a Flyer. Mud Slap, double resisted, but Torterra simply doesn't care. We Mud Slap farm down Togekiss, and we're able to take that game. In the next battle this time, we see Skeledirge in the lead position. There have been so many Skeledirge harmed in the making of this video. However, in the lead, I imagine they invest Protect Shields. What the heck is Ho-Oh going to throw that isn't going to hit like a truck? We invest Protect Shield, correctly shield up the Shadow Ball. Buthesfunnytho going to release the Brave Bird. Trainer, please shield. Get some respect back on Skeledirge's name. The opponent shields the first Brave Bird, but Ho-Oh able to reach the next one on CMP, winning CMP. Is the opponent willing to 2-shield in this opening matchup? Yes, they are. We see the instant no shield from Buthesfunnytho, but the Skeledirge is still going to be somewhat of a problem for us. Whilst Torterra can hit for super effective, they're boosted and also hitting back for super effective in return. Torterra unable to Mud Slap farm down before the boosted Torch Songs reach, and both trainers now find themselves with no shield to hide behind. Out comes Florges. Florges not going to appreciate a Shadow Frenzy Plant. Torterra rips off the Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant rocks them deep into the red health. The opponent dumps their energy. Does Chilling Water knock us out from here? It does not. We save Torterra as a potential sack swap. Send out Latias. Please tell me this isn't a disarming voice. We've seen one disarming voice today. Surely this isn't another one. Thankfully, it's just the Chilling Water. Latias able to get a massive double resisted Dragon Breath farm down. Back out comes Skeledirge just to feed us free energy. Oh no, Greninja. Say it ain't so. Poor old Greninja about to get absolutely abused. The first Aura Spear, massive damage. The second one's locked and loaded. Greninja makes a very brief cameo appearance, and Buthesfunnytho once again able to come out on top. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle this time we see Florges in the lead position. The opponent say switch into Ampharos, and oh my, do we have one very hard check for Ampharos. We bank the Brave Bird, make the catch and the sneak onto Torterra, aka Torterra Ball. Torterra is so dominant. Look at the Mud Slap damage going. I think these Volt Switches are actually healing us. We can tank back-to-back Brutal Swings, get a massive Mud Slap farm down, and leave a bucketload of residual energy good to go. Does the opponent have a great way of sponging this energy? Clearly not, as back out comes Florges, one Mud Slap and a full send of the Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant able to land and instantly puts the opponent below the half health range. The opponent wants to get rid of Torterra, opt to throw their energy instantly. They fire off the Trailblaze, which I guess means the Chilling Water potentially would knock us out, but the opponent actually reset that attack boost and send out the Penguin, which is a very interesting idea with 2 shields in play. We fire off the Sacred Fire, farm up, and look to make the catch, catching onto Latias, and this game looks completely over. Buthesfunnytho in a completely commanding position, and even with a 2-to-1 shield advantage. We're going to invest the Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming Drill Peck. I imagine farm up to the double Aura Spear. If the opponent shields this, I imagine they're going to try to catch back onto Florges, but that catch simply won't save the opponent. The first Aura Spear forces the opponent's final protection. No catch attempt is made. Aura Spear lands on its intended target. High Steel Penguin, buy Steel Penguin. Switch timers up, quick switch into Ho-Oh, 1 Incinerate, and the Brave Bird's reached. And that is going to be all she wrote. High Florges, buy Florges. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we see Nidoqueen in the lead position. Most fire types are not going to be very good into ground types, but if you're a fire and flyer, you actually single resist ground. Fire takes super effective, whereas flying does double resist. The opponent doesn't even look to bait a Stone Edge, has an easy tank of a Poison Fang. Buthesfunnytho farms up a boatload of energy and looks to unleash the Brave Bird at a range where Brave Bird will be lethal. Brave Bird forces the Protect Shield, quick switch into Torterra, we're able to sneak the Mud Slap, but unfortunately we're about to get debuffed for our troubles. Leading Nidoqueen, I imagine they've got a hard answer for opposing Mud Slappers, or not. The opponent concedes a massive Mud Slap farm down. Why? I'm not entirely sure. Huh? Ampharos? You cannot be triple weak to ground in the Ultra League. Mr. Opponent, Gastrodon. Gastrodon! What is going on here? Despite the opponent clearly very, very weak to Torterra, we're not going to invest the Protect Shield. We're actually able to fully Mud Slap farm down. It's Greninja in the back. We go for a Sandtomb bait. I think kind of unnecessary, but even if the opponent call it, which to my surprise they do, huge cojones on display. They simply cannot win this battle. We've got 2 shields. Usually you don't want to shield the Night Slash, but with 2 shields you may as well just shield everything. Race to the double Aura Spear, and that will be all she wrote. Surely the opponent let this go. The opponent playing it out to the very bitter end, despite Greninja's best efforts being a super spammy frog. Unfortunately, this one is always going to end in defeat. The opponent fire off yet another Night Slash, bouncing off the protection. We race the Aura Spear, and finally, that is going to be all she wrote. GG to that opponent, and clearly you need some work on that team composition. That was crazy. It looks like we've got one further battle, and this one is actually in the Great League. And oh my god, what a core breaker. We are ABA weak to the Pancake. How do we beat this? Step 1, catch on Amoonguss. But the problem for us is Amoonguss is our only way of really getting rid of Stunfisk. Although, to be honest, now they took quite a lot of Astonish damage. A Blast Burn or Aqua Tail will get the job done, so we're not actually in the worst position. We were completely core broken by this Pancake, but it looks like the opponent completely core broken by Amoonguss as well. I think Amoonguss is such a very slept on pick in both the Great and the Ultra League. The opponent shields the foul play bait, catch the next foul play onto Gastron, but crap their pants, putting up that Protect Shield. Switch timers up, quick switch, back into Charizard. Charizard going to release the Blast Burn that is resisted, but certainly won't look like it. Instantly putting this snail below the half health range. Gastron going to fire off the Body Slam simply doesn't cut it. Charizard shrugs off the damage, reaches the Air Cutter, and Air Cutter is going to knock out Gastron. But the issue for us here is we're just going to concede farm to that Pancake. Back out comes the Pancake. The Pancake does get the farm down. We send out Amoonguss, and I guess we need to start shielding. We see the instant shield deployed, blocking up the incoming Mud Bomb. The Pancake able to outpace to yet another Mud Bomb, and we're now very much going to find ourselves with no shield to hide behind. We're in a shieldless game. The opponent pivots out into Diggersby. We bank the Grass Knot, make the catch onto Gyarados. Gyarados going to shrug off his Fire Punch. Diggersby not normally too bad into Gyarados, to be honest. The most do run quick attack, but this one opting for Mud Shot, which is double resisted. Potential way out for the opponent, or get out of jail free card, would have been the Hyper Beam, but clearly they haven't got it as they're not farming up to it. Gyarados shrugs off yet another Fire Punch, farms up to the double Aqua Tail, the first one, rocks them into the red health range, the second will remove them from the field of play, and I can smell it coming. That wham, bam, combo play, the Big Mac and the fries. The opponent did not order. Quick switch into Amoonguss, and Grass Knot able to clean up. GG's, and thanks for playing. And that is just about going to wrap things up for today's video. A huge thank you to Buthesfunnytho for not only being a very entertaining battler, but also putting today's video together, just leaving me the honours of shoutcasting. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, a link to our battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.